Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Namaste Astu Bhagavan Vishveshwaraya Mahadevaya Trambakaya Tripurantakaya Trikagnikalaya Kalagni Rudraya Neelakanthaya Mrityunjayaya Sarveshwaraya Sadashivaya Shriman Mahadevaya Namaha. Om Samasta Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Hari Om, salutations to all. So today and tomorrow, last 2 days of the Shravan month, we have seen so far the Rudra Ashtakam, then 12 Jyotirlingas, and Ardhanarishwara Stotram is what we were to take, but I will take that in February or March next year in the Shivaratri week. Today and tomorrow we will meditate upon the most beautiful form of Bhagavan, Dakshinamurti. So, Dakshinamurti Bhagavan, a very unique form. I'm just going to share. So, this is the Dhyana shloka of Dakshinamurti Bhagavan. Yeah. This is the form of Bhagavan. Sitting below the Vatavriksha, the banyan tree, where Bhagavan is in the specific mudra, with the Jnana mudra he is holding, he is indicating the truth. One hand is the mala, one hand is Agni, one hand is the Vedas, and one hand is in Jnana mudra. Surrounded by ṛṣis who are elderly, Bhagavan's form is supposed to be the young form, and just through silence he communicates the highest truth. So that is what this shloka says. Mauna Vyakhya Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Through Mauna Vyakhya, through just silence, one has elaborated and manifested as though Prakatita Para Brahma Tattvam, Supreme Brahman. And he is Yuvanam. His form is, he is a young Acharya. Yuvanam. Varsisthante Vasad Rishiganaihi. The disciples are very learned rishis, scholars, and Antevasi, they are those who are full-time seekers of the truth. Varsisthante Vasadrishiganaihi Avritam Brahmanishthaihi. Brahmanishthaihi here, Brahma word means Veda here. Brahma word does not mean Supreme Brahman in this context. First line, it means Supreme Brahman. So these are Vedic scholars who have studied the Veda, who have understood the meaning of the Vedas, and they are full-time seekers. The supreme truth which was veiled, Avritam, has been manifested, Prakatitam, by Dakshinamurti Bhagavan, who is young, who is Acharyendram, who is the teacher of all teachers, meaning one of the greatest teachers. How did he do this? Cin-mudrā Karakalita cin-mudram ananda rupam or ananda murtim. So this cin-mudra, with the cin-mudra he indicates. Swatma Ramam, who revels in the self within. Mudita Vadanam, who has a very pleasant smile on his face, who is pleasing in his appearance. To that Dakshinamurti Bhagawan, I worship that Dakshinamurti Bhagawan, or my salutation to that Dakshinamurti Bhagawan. Dakshinamurtim Ide. So this is the basic meaning. I worship Sri Dakshinamurti, the young guru who teaches the knowledge of Brahman through silence, who is surrounded by disciples who are themselves rishis and scholars in the Vedas. I worship Sri Dakshinamurti, who is the teacher of teachers, whose hand is held in the sign of knowledge, whose nature is bliss, and whoever revels in his own self and who is ever silent. So, this is the form. There is a So the four rishis sitting below, they are supposed to be Sanat Kumars, and they have approached Bhagavan Dakshinamurti. They have not asked any questions. Bhagavan has not given any upadesha. But they went with the queries in their mind, and when they went there, Bhagavan just indicated this. All their doubts got cleared. Just the indication. So Mauna Vyakhya, one meaning is without speaking anything, just through indication. This is the Jnana Mudra. This has different meanings. People have different connotations for this. So they asked a South Indian Tamilian, what is this? He says Meduvada. He asked the youngster, what is this? He said donut. Then they asked a Bengali, he said Rosogulla. They asked a mathematician, he says circle. Like that, different people have different. They ask a petrol pump owner, he says pure for sure. Then they asked one simpleton, what is this? Apparently, a fool who doesn't know much. So they asked him, what is this? He said, this is Thursday. So everybody is surprised, what is this? How can this be Thursday? Because Medu Vada, Rasgulla, all that understandable. This Thursday, how is Thursday? He said, very simple, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. This is Thursday. So this mudra, it is actually a mudra, proper mudra. The index finger. So first, these three fingers, they must come together. It's not like this. They're not like this. Three fingers straight and touching each other. These three represent our body, mind, and intellect. They must come together. Integration of body, mind, intellect is called yoga. First step of yoga is this, to bring the body, mind, intellect in one place. This is the finger which represents ego. So having brought the BMI together, we detach the ego and surrender. This is Brahman. Without the thumb, grasping is very difficult. So this thumb is the support, and Brahman is the support of the universe. So this thumb represents Brahman, Supreme Brahman. This is the finger of ego. His ego surrenders to Brahman. You may say Ishvara also. Both are same. Jiva surrenders to Ishvara. And what is realized? This circle represents Purnatvam, fulfillment. Now, without these three coming together, the surrender will not happen properly. And only these three coming together and surrender does not happen, realization will not happen. These three come together for many reasons. In a great sportsman also, the body, mind, intellect will be together. In an artist, it will be together. Any great achiever, they would have mastered in some way in their field at least to bring the BMI together. So this integration of BMI From spiritual sadhana standpoint, it is reducing the vasana pressure and purifying the mind, making the mind single pointed. That is integration. What Bhagavan says, yesterday we saw in the 11th chapter, 55th verse, those who are studying in the Gita. Mat karma krit mat paramaha mat bhaktaha. Through the body we serve the Lord, through the mind we love the Lord, through the intellect we have considered Bhagavan as the supreme. So surrender, serve, surrender and seek. Serve with the body, surrender with the mind, seek the supreme, because he is the supreme goal of life. Even here it said Parabrahma, supreme Brahman. There is nothing greater than that. So one who with the whole personality has oriented oneself for the supreme, that is yoga. And when that happens, then the detachment from the BMI, this represents the BMI. So detachment from the BMI, how one goes to the teacher, listens to the truth, and that teacher is Dakshinamurty Bhagawan here. And Dakshinamurty Bhagawan gives the Upadesha to these Sanat Kumars. They are the Uttam Adhikaris. So they don't even need words. Just by this indication, that detach from the false notion that I am the BMI. I am not the BMI. This is only a tool that I have. So detach from this false notion. So when one listens to the Guru, then one reflects, then one contemplates. So in contemplation, one detaches from the BMI, attached to the truth, surrender to the truth. I am Brahman, I am not this BMI. This is a simple Jnana Mudra, and through this, Dakshinamurti Bhagavan gave the highest knowledge without speaking a word, just through this mudra. And what happened? The disciples didn't ask any question, but the Guru pointed out this, and the disciples realized, because they were Uttamadhikaris. Chitram Vatatarur Mule Vriddha Shishya Gurur Yuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshaya. All their doubts got cut asunder. They came to realize the supreme truth. So this is the essence of Vedanta, Jnana Mudra. And Mauna Vyakhyan, in one literal meaning, is Bhagavan didn't speak and he was maun, he was silent. But Mauna Vyakhya also means no matter how much Vyakhya one does of the self, it is indescribable. It is Maunam only. One can only point what is the self. That which is infinite, how much ever one speaks about it, it can't be grasped by the thought, can't be grasped by the emotion, can't be expressed by the words. It is our true state which has to be. Even the word experience is limited, but that's a limitation of language. It has to be experienced as our true nature. And so the obstacles to this are removed through this Upadesha. Truth is not produced. Obstacles to this are removed. What are the obstacles to realization? If truth is my nature, then why do I not know? Because three obstacles are there. Mala, impurities of the mind. Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Mada, Matsarya. These impurities of the mind will go through Karma Yoga, through Seva. Doing my duty, wherever I am, whichever role I am playing, Bhagavan put me there. I do my best to serve the Lord. Karma Yoga will purify the mind. Bhakti will unify the mind. Ishtadevata, worship of the Lord, chanting, mantra, meditation, all that, surrender. So through bhakti, one removes the vikshepa, wandering of the mind. That is the second obstacle. First obstacle is mala. Mala goes by karma yoga. Vikshepa is wandering of the mind. Very fickle is the mind. Doesn't stay on one thought. Or even one chain of thoughts. Keeps randomly wandering here, there. And the more we try to meditate, sometimes the more it wanders. So bhavna has to be brought in. Bhakti is an important aspect. Then the mind will focus. So Vikshepa goes by Bhakti Yoga. And Avaranam, the third obstacle is veiling. The truth is veiled by this layer of ignorance. I don't know who I am. That is veiled. That veiling is removed by the knowledge. So that is Jnana Yoga. Shravan Manan Nididhyasan. So that's why in the shloka it is said Avritam and Prakatitam. Avritam is that which is covered. Our true nature is covered. On one hand it is covered, on the other hand there is projection. I don't know who am I, then I think I am the BMI. So Bhagavan Dakshinamurti reveals that truth, unveils the truth for us. For all the devotees, he is the one who gives the Jnana Upadesh and removes the Avarana. So one goes with a prepared mind. So this great ṛṣis who went to Bhagavan, they have already done Karma Yoga, they have done Upasanas, they have studied the Veda, and with such a pure, single pointed mind, they went to the teacher. And the teacher just indicated and they realized the truth. So this is the Siddhant in Vedanta, and this is the whole approach. Purify the mind, unify the mind, transcend the mind. P-U-T, put. All the entire sequence of Veda also is in these three words. First part is full karmakand, rituals, rites, everything. Mantra, Brahmana portion. That is the first part, purify. Second part is the Aranyaka. So many upasanas are given in that. That is to unify the mind. And Vedanta is the third part, Vedanta, what we call Upanishads. They reveal the absolute truth. Mind which has been through this purification, purify and unify, will realize. So, this is Dakshinamurti Bhagawan. Mauna Vyakhya. So, no matter how much one describes the truth actually is indescribable. So, it is Maunam only. Only some pointers, some indications can be given. But through that Mauna Vyakhya, whether Bhagavan spoke or did not speak doesn't matter. The point is, the truth has been indicated. And it has been revealed. Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam. Yuvanam. And he is a young guru. This is a form. Bhagavan manifested in this form. This is a Leela of Bhagavan. Anyway, Bhagavan is not the body. We are not the body. That is what Bhagavan is trying to indicate to us also. The specific purpose why he manifested like that is to say that knowledge is not confined by the age limitation. Yes, it is true, as we grow in life, we get experiences, we may become wiser, mature, more deeper understanding, we mellow down through life. All that does happen, no doubt. But yet, especially Brahma Vidya is not to be sought out at the end of one's life only. Bhagavan himself manifested as Dakshinamurti in the form of a youth. Even Shankaracharya ji, at the age of 8, he took sannyas. By the age of 32, he departed from this world. Vivekananda ji, at the age of 20, he took. By 39, he departed. Like that, you see so many. Ramana Maharshi, at the age of 16, he had the death experience, renounced the world, went to Tiruvannamalai. 17 years, he was at Tiruvannamalai. From 17 years age onwards, he was in Tiruvannamalai. Like that, if you see so many Janabai, Sakubai, Sopanbai, Muktabai, all of them, Sopandev, Muktabai, all of them, so many young uh, saints and devotees. So spiritual knowledge, and especially this highest knowledge, one should seek when one is young, anchor in that truth, fulfill one's life. So Bhagavan manifests, Yuvanam, Varsishtante Vasadrishiganehi, Antevasi has a beautiful meaning. So Antevasi literally means who stays in the ashram. So the students who leave their home and they go and stay in the Gurukul and they study there, they are called Antevasi. And here Antevasi also means Ante, one who is anchored within. Antar Bahihi. So Antevasi. Anta does not mean only end. Arambha and Anta. Anta means inside also. So Antevasi, one who has turned within, who is anchoring within, who does not depend on his or her happiness uh, for his or her happiness on various things, people, situations. No dependencies outside. That person is Antevasi, who anchors only in the self, not even in the mind, not even in a certain positive thinking, who knows that Brahman is of the nature of Ananda and my Swarup is that and I anchor in that. I don't have to become happy. I am that very happiness and bliss that I seek. My understanding of I has to be changed, that's all. So one who is attempting to shift the identification from the BMI to the self is Antevasi. So Antevasi. So Vasadrishiganehi, all these great rishis, Bhavna Vyakhya Prakrita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varsishtante Vasadrishiganehi Avritam, that truth which has been veiled, which is covered, that is Prakatitam. Brahmanishtahi, they are seekers who have studied, who have heard, who have done their sadhana as per the Veda. Avritam Brahmanishtahi. Acharyendram, he is the teacher of all teachers. Because just by indication, he did not even have to ask the students what is their doubt. He did not have to speak any words, just by indication. And is it that, oh, he did not ask, he just indicated, maybe the students had some other questions? No, students had what doubts for which they came there, those got destroyed. Chinna samshayaha. Just by this. And they accepted, and that's why they also pray. And they thank Bhagavan. So Acharyendram, teacher of all teachers, who shows in his life only. Acharya means one who acharatiti acharya, one who lives the truth, whose walk and talk there is no contradiction. Acharya Indram, teacher of all teachers. Karakalita cin-mudram, with his hands he just showed this. And who is Ananda Rupam, one who is showing this cin-mudrā. When we surrender to Bhagavan or when we contemplate on the truth, when we detach from the BMI and say, I am not this BMI, I am infinite consciousness, what is the Swarup of that consciousness? Ananda Rupam. Blissful. This is not excitement and maja and some sense pleasure that one gets from the world outside. It is the bliss of the truth. It is not pleasure of the senses, not the joy of the mind or some emotional satisfaction of the mind. It is not the intellectual happiness of some success or getting what I want. It is the bliss which does not depend on anything. Pleasure, joy, happiness depends on object, people, situations. This is uncaused bliss. A small glimpse of that we experience in the deep sleep. In deep sleep, none of these are there. Object, people, situations. We are not aware of the BMI, but blissful. That's a small glimpse. But because ignorance is still there, when that ignorance is removed, avarana is gone, then the truth reveals. And what is the nature of the truth? Ananda Rupam. Upanishads say the ocean of bliss in which the Jivan Mukta or the realized person revels in, the bliss of the enjoyments of the whole world, including from Brahmaji onwards, all the bliss of even Indra and everybody is just one drop in the bliss ocean that the realized person revels in. Manisha Panchakam it comes. One drop of bliss of the Jivan Mukta. Imagine the ocean in which he is reveling. The whole creation is, all the bliss of the entire creation is not even a drop in that ocean of bliss. Ananda Rupam. Then Swatma Ramam Mudita Vadanam. Swatma Ramam, one who is reveling in the self. Swa Atma, the self. Ramam. Ramam means to revel. So one again who is reveling in the self within, Ananda Rupam, Swatma Ramam, and that is expressing on the face also, Mudita Vadanam. That inner bliss is reflecting on the face through peace, happiness, bliss, whatever we call it. Atma. Mudita Vadanam does not mean always giving one big smile, showing the teeth. No, there's a bliss, content, tripta. There's nothing more to achieve. One may do some duties in the world outside, but nothing more to achieve. Reveling in the self within, the blissful state within. Atma Ramam, Mudita Vadanam. And if I am student of Vedanta, I should be Mudita Vadanam, Atma Ramam, Ananda Rupam. If I am student of Vedanta and I am dukhi all the time, complaining, cribbing, negative, pessimistic, what is the point? What have I studied in Vedanta? One has to be anchored within, strong, detached, happy. Detachment and happiness go together. People think detachment and disinterest go together, escapism go together. That is a wrong notion. Detachment and happiness will go together. Kasya sukham na karoti viragaha. Shankaracharya ji says in Bhaj Govindam. What happiness is not available to those who walk the path of dispassion. Because no dependency on anything and one is reveling inside in the bliss, and that same Atma is Madatma Sarvabhutatma. One Atma alone is there. This whole thing is a play of that one Atma. One who understands this anchors in the self, blissful. Then life is a sport. It's a game. It goes on. Up and down, the things will keep happening. Pairs of opposites will keep playing. But one has got anchored within. So Atma Ramam, Mudita Vadanam, Dakshinamurtim Ide. I worship Dakshinamurti. So why is he called Dakshinamurti? Because he is facing the Dakshin Disha. So he is in the north, facing the south. South is the Disha of Yamraj. And as Jivas, we run away from the south towards the north. North is the direction of knowledge. South is the direction of death. So as though the Jiva runs away from death, which everybody seeks immortality and we don't want to die. And so Jiva as though going towards Ishvara. Ishvara is facing Dakshinam. So the one who is Mrityunjaya is facing death also. There is no fear in his mind. We see death and oh no, I don't want to die. Run away from Bhagavan. Run away from death towards Bhagavan. So one who is the Guru, who is Dakshinamurti, who is sitting in the north to protect the Jiva, and who through his Upadesha reveals this immortal self, which is Ananda Rupam, and who makes the disciples realize the truth, is Dakshinamurti Bhagawan. So that's the meaning, Dakshinamurti. Now this is the first shloka, and this is what we will keep this form in the mind, and we will meditate more about contemplation. So we will do japa for a short while. With the regular process, we will do the japa and then we will contemplate. Contemplation is detached from who I am not and attached to the truth.